And so I'd say, let's put the camera here. The DP would say, I think it would be better over here. And well, no, I don't think so. I think this is the angle I want. And finally it would come down to Jean-Claude saying, put the camera there, okay? And
Hey guys, you ever wonder what it was like on the set of Lionheart and Double Impact? Well, who better to answer that question than writer-director of these two amazing films, Sheldon Lettich, who once again is a guest in today's video. Make sure to check out the previous videos I did with him. I'll link him in the description below. But in this video, we're going to talk about how it was like on set. Was it a smooth production? Were there troubled productions? Also get some fun trivia on that. Oh, and please help support the channel by hitting the like button, subscribing, sharing the video. And with that said, let's get on to this great discussion with Sheldon Lettich. Now, I have a theory and a question. When you and Van Damme made Lionheart and when you made Double Impact, my theory is that you guys probably just had a lot of fun making the movie. And that's one reason why I think it's so good, because you hear about some productions that are troubled productions, and usually those movies flop and they're not that great because probably related to people not getting along on set. So
totally the opposite. We had numerous problems on both movies.
Oh, really?
These were troubled productions.
Wow.
Both of them.
What's the problem?
On a Double Impact especially, we had too many producers. They were all bickering with one another. We shot in Hong Kong. Jean-Claude had, he'd worked with Charlie Wang on Bloodsport. Charlie had a production services company in Hong Kong called Salon Films. And Charlie was trying to get Jean-Claude to come back to Hong Kong and make another movie.
Trust me. We're going to Hong Kong.
So even though the script was originally titled Corsican Brothers, took place in Corsica and Paris, Jean-Claude convinced Moshe to shoot the movie in Hong Kong with Charlie Wang. And Charlie Wang basically said, hey, we're going to supply all the cameras and locations. We've got this. If we shoot in Hong Kong, we've got this thing covered. All right. I'm going to decline this call.
Okay.
I'm going to get him.
So, so we ended up going to Hong Kong, and there were a lot of problems between Charlie and Moshe, and then we had other executives from Michael Douglas's company. Michael, by the way, I never met Michael Douglas. He was never on the set. He really had very little to do with the movie, but I believe he co-financed Stone Group.
I don't throw darts at a board. I bet on sure things.
So he had some of his executives on the movie, like Charles Layton and a couple others. Anyways, they didn't see eye to eye with Moshe. Moshe and Charles Layton did not see eye to eye with Charlie Wang. They were accusing Charlie Wang of ripping them off, of charging him for things that he wasn't delivering. Now, Jean-Claude and I were in the midst of all this, and as far as we're concerned, Charlie Wang delivered everything he said he was going to deliver. But there was a lot of fighting between them, and we were supposed to shoot the entire movie in Hong Kong. And then it became apparent that we had to make a change somewhere, and it was suggested that we take the whole shoot, the rest of the movie, back to LA. We shoot the rest of it in LA. We've got some sets that we need to build that are supposed to be in Hong Kong. Not a problem. We rented studios in Santa Clarita, just recreated everything here. There's plenty of Chinese people here in LA. We had no problem finding Chinese people that knew how to play mahjong, all that stuff. The ship where they have the big fight at the end, that was an old Liberty ship docked in San Pedro. The exterior of the ship we filmed in Hong Kong. Now, if you know anything about ships, if you see that exterior and that interior, you're going to say, there's no way that this is the same ship. And it's not. Most of us don't know that. I wouldn't know that. I never heard a single complaint about the ship not matching, but the interior is all like a 1940s era Liberty ship. Now, the Mahjong parlor, we see Jean-Claude walking into a Mahjong parlor in Hong Kong. We were actually on the streets of Hong Kong, goes into this place. We cut. Now we're inside the Mahjong parlor. That Mahjong parlor was in Santa Clarita. Beautifully done. Art director did a fantastic job of recreating it. All those Chinese people are in there. The extras casting people went to Chinatown, found a bunch of Chinese that spoke Chinese, spoke the proper, actually in Hong Kong, they speak Cantonese. You find Chinese here in LA, especially back then, they all spoke Cantonese. So it matched perfectly, and they all knew how to play Mahjong. So basically all we had to do, the prop people got some Mahjong tiles and they were playing Mahjong. The interior of the hotel, we had this abandoned hotel that was on Lantau Island. We did all the exteriors there on Lantau Island. The interior we built in Santa Clarita, and that hotel, the interior of the actual hotel looked nothing like what we built in Santa Clarita, but nobody ever knew the difference. Sure. You know, they go in Hong Kong, now we're in Santa Clarita, and it seems like it's, the interior seems like it matches the exterior. It didn't, but it worked. So we shot that here. We shot a lot of stuff here, and that was because there were problems, and the producers decided to just split up, and they brought everything back to LA. We brought back some of the same people. We hired some different people in LA. All the key people stayed on the same, but we got through it. So I'd say, I wouldn't say half the movie was shot in LA, but probably about a third of it was done here.
Wow, I just assumed it was all in Hong Kong. That's kind of crazy. And I assumed it was.
It works. It works. It looks really good.
It works perfect. It works perfect.
And Lionheart, we had issues too with between Jean-Claude and the producers.
Right now, you and me.
I had issues with some of the crew
Really?
because I was a first-time director, and I'm working with all these people who've done lots of productions, and everybody wants to prove that they know more. If you're the new guy, they want to prove that well, I could be doing this just as good as he is. This guy's just Jean-Claude's friend. Well, I think I pretty much proved my worth on there, but I had to battle with some of these people, especially the director of photography, who was always giving me a hard time, not wanting to put the camera where I wanted to put it. But eventually, but at least I had Jean-Claude. He knew something about making movies too, and so I'd say, let's put the camera here. The DP would say, I think it would be better over here. And well, no, I don't think so. I think this is the angle I want. And finally it would come down to Jean-Claude saying, put the fucking camera there. Okay. and we'd shoot.
That's funny.
Yeah, so there were problems on that one too, but we got through it. And there are other movies that I worked on where everybody got along great. Everything was very harmonious. But the movie itself didn't necessarily become any kind of a classic.
Yeah, throw my theory out the window. But
yeah, well, a lot of people like Only the Strong. I like Only the Strong.
Only the Strong, because I was going to ask you about that later. Only the Strong will, of course, be the topic for the next video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that, because there's still upcoming videos talking about Frank Dukes, talking about Stallone and writing Rambo 3, and more. Until then, see you guys next time.